My name is Alexander Ammon, and my individual application argument project is on 6 things you're actually saying when you reduce Latinas to the spicy stereotype by Lobriel. According to Lobriel, when people reduce Latinas to the spicy stereotype, it's harmful and dehumanizing. The article lists 6 things that this stereotype implies, like treating them as objects, exoticizing them, and disregarding their uniqueness. To prove this point, Lobriel mentions specific examples of how this stereotype is present in movies, music, and ads. She also shares stories from her own life and others to show how it affects Latinas in their daily lives, from getting overlooked for jobs to being harassed and fetishized. So, the idea is that this stereotype leads to bad assumptions about Latinas that can lead to discrimination, objectification, and dehumanization. Ultimately, the stereotype reduces them to a flat caricature, deleting their individuality and promoting negative power dynamics. She encourages us to see Latinas as multidimensional people with their own stories and experiences, and to move beyond stereotypes. L'Oreal's argument in 6 Things You're Actually Saying When You Reduce Latinas to the Spicy Stereotype acknowledges the problem of implicit bias, cognitive biases, and confirmation bias to some degree. The article points out of how the spicy stereotype perpetuates negative assumptions and dehumanizing attitudes towards Latinas. These attitudes often stem from pre-existing notions and biases that people have about Latinas, such as the perception that they are excessively sexual, exotic, or devoid of individuality. Labrielle's argument tackles the problem of implicit bias and cognitive biases by identifying the challenging and the underlying messages conveyed by the spicy stereotype. The article urges readers to go beyond these biases and to recognize Latinas as complex and multifaceted individuals with their own unique stories and experiences. However, it's important to note that the article may also fall prey to confirmation bias since it only focuses on the adverse effects of the spicy stereotype and doesn't explore other viewpoints of or potential positive aspects of the stereotype. The language used by Lobriel in 6 Things You're Actually Saying When You Reduce Latinas to the Spicy Stereotype is generally strong and impactful. She's attempting to illustrate the damaging impact of the spicy stereotype on Latinas and the negative attitudes and assumptions it fosters. To accomplish this, she employs words that arouse emotions and stress the gravity of the situation, such as dehumanizing, objectification, and erasure. These words have potent negative connotations and are intended to persuade the audience to take the issue seriously. In summary, Lobriel's use of powerful language is an effective approach to make her argument more compelling and to emphasize the detrimental consequences of the spicy stereotype. Lobriel's language choices in 6 Things You're Actually Saying When You Reduce Latinas to the Spicy Stereotype make the argument more persuasive. She uses strong and emotional words like dehumanizing and objectification and erasure to highlight negative consequences of the spicy stereotype in Latinas. These words create a sense of urgency and demonstrate that Lobriel is serious about the issue. Additionally, she provides specific examples and evidence to support the argument, making it more compelling. Moreover, her use of personal experience and anecdotes is another effective strategy to make the argument more convincing. By sharing her own and others' experiences, Lobriel helps readers relate to the issue and understand the real-life impact of the spicy stereotype. This can be particularly effective in convincing readers who are unfamiliar with the experiences of Latinas. All in all, Lobriel's language choices, which include emotional words and personal experience, make the argument more convincing and draw attention to the harmful effects of the spicy stereotype. I completely agree with Lobriel's argument. The spicy stereotype is not only dehumanizing, but it also perpetuates harmful assumptions and attitudes towards Latinas. This stereotype reduces Latinas to a one-dimensional portrayal and erases their individuality, which can lead to discrimination and prejudice. By providing specific examples and evidence, Lobriel effectively highlights the harmful impact of the stereotype and why it's important to change it. Additionally, her use of personal experience and anecdotes help to make the issue more relatable and understandable, which is essential in convincing readers who may not be familiar with the experiences of Latinas. Overall, Lobriel's argument is persuasive and necessary in bringing attention to the harmful effects of the spicy stereotype. I was inclined to accept Lobriel's statements with little to no scrutiny because I have heard about the discrimination towards Latinos before. I believe I just needed a more clearer view of the entire situation to further understand the discrimination these women go through. Thank you.